It has been a long time since we were last in a league with a rookie draft, but that is no longer the case, as obviously we have the NHL entry draft coming up right now. So unfortunately, we don't have much of a scouting report, considering it looks like Ottawa did not do a good job of scouting this year. This past year. Yeah, this draft might unfortunately be a little rough. I mean, hopefully we get a couple of good picks here, but there's not much to really go off of, at least from these scouting reports, because we don't really have much in terms of accurate information. I mean, we could always look at career stats, but that's about it. So advancing to our first pick at number 14, the top player is Finn Steiner. Last season, he had 55 points in 52 games played in the German league. Where is he projected to go? Number 9? Really? Okay. That alone might make him worth taking here. And then you have Benny Eggenberger. Last season, he had 37 points in 50 games played. Projected to go 33. Yeah, I think we might just take Steiner here. There's Travis Alalouf, 42 points in 62 games for the Prince Albert Raiders. Projected to go 23rd. Oh, what? Really? Okay, so apparently I have run into the guy who was projected to be number 2, Tanner Schinkel. I mean, I thought I was going to take the guy who was projected to go number 9, but just based off that, just based off the fact that he was ranked at number 2, I see no reason why I shouldn't take him at number 14. I'd be pretty stupid to pass that up, wouldn't I? Yep, Tanner Schinkel, welcome to Ottawa. Let's see this. Yeah, he was projected to go number 2 to Washington, but he dropped to number 14. That is quite a bit of luck there. I think with the next pick, I'm going to take Tony Tab. He's projected to go 15, and we're in the second round now, so that alone could make this a pretty good pick. He's definitely a ways away from the NHL, that's for sure. He's only a half-star ability based off the current scouting report. Last season for the U.S. program, he had 65 points in 64 games played. Yep, Tony Tab, welcome to Ottawa. And that was at pick number 46, too, so a guy who's supposed to go 15 taken over 30 picks later, like, that's not bad. So just based on that, we're having a pretty good draft. Well, I should say pretty lucky draft is more like it. Third round now, pick number 78. So I found the guy who was projected to go at 20, Anthony McSkimming. So just the fact that we're at pick 78 now, I think that's a no-brainer. You got to take him, right? Yeah, I'll take him. I think I'll take a defenseman now with the 110th pick, Klaas Magnuson. He was supposed to go at 37. Last season, he had 16 points in 22 games with Almtuna. Unfortunately, we don't have anything on him, but that's just the way it's going in this draft. So, Magnuson, welcome to Ottawa. At pick 130, I think I'll take Colin Toison. He was supposed to go pick 38, so, almost 100 picks later. And even though he's another forward, which we have taken plenty of in this draft, we basically need everything when it comes to prospects right now, so I'll take him. And at this point, I think there's nothing that's really too interesting, so we're just going to skip the rest of the draft. All right, so since the draft was actually a little shorter than I anticipated, let's do some simulating in this video. So we are at the start of the preseason with a game against the Islanders, and someone who I actually forgot to go over in the initial introduction to the team is actually currently on the injured reserve list and has been for quite a while. Michael Turbide. He is 26 years of age, 2-star ability, good passer, good checker, good defensive read. Last year with the Ottawa Senators, he played 5 games, and that's it. It appears he got his injury sometime in February, and he still got it. So, I mean, he's close to coming back, but that's quite the long injury there. That's a 9-month injury, roughly. I mean, poor guy. He spends, he spends like 6 years with the Belleville Senators in the AHL. Then he finally gets his chance with the Ottawa Senators. And after 5 games, he gets a nasty injury. Ooh, that's rough. That is rough. And something we actually need to keep an eye on is the all-time point leaders. Colby Sedganiuk is within reach of Daniel Alfredsson's record of 1,108 points with the Ottawa Senators. And based off how many points he's been getting in recent campaigns, I'd say he could do it. He could very well surpass Alfredsson this season. All right, so to start out preseason, here are the lines recommended by the assistant. You have Jansa, Rogers, and Giroux on the first line with Sidok and Westerland on the back end. Then on the second line, you have the captain, Kizniakov, with Wieland and Emerson. And then Hankin and Schacht on the back end. On the third line, you have Merrifield, Werner, and Saganiuk. And then Cerrone and Coates on the back end. And Barron, Van Buren, and Medina on the fourth line. Maka and Manning in goal, of course. I think I found us a decent head coach here. I'm not really in favor of his coaching ratings. However, what he does have, he has pretty good motivation, really good tactics, good in-game tactics, okay player management. I'm hoping that discipline doesn't hurt him too much. It's only at 2 there. That's his ability to maintain order and discipline on our team. He's an offensive preference, and we're definitely an offensive team based off what we saw with our defensive core being made up of primarily offensive defensemen. And then he also prefers veterans. And if you remember, we have a lot of veterans on our team. So I think this guy as our head coach might not be a bad idea. So 2 seasons for him. Let's see how he does. Well, we're not even out of the preseason yet, and I might have to make a trade here because unfortunately, our goaltenders are not good right now. I mean, that may change in the regular season, but Maka with an .854 save percentage and Manning with an .861. So I'm hoping they'll turn around in the regular season, obviously, but that's not a good first impression is what I'm saying. So I'm already feeling a little nervous about the start of the regular season because if those kind of performances continue, then we're going to be forced to make a trade pretty early on here, it seems. Okay, so quite an interesting preseason here, and by interesting, I mean very bad. So you'll notice that in every single one of our preseason games, we gave up at least 4 goals in every single game. 6-3 loss against the Islanders, 5-4 loss against the Penguins, 7-2 loss against Washington, a 5-4 win against Anaheim, but then you have a 4-2 loss against Seattle, 6-2 against Seattle, 5-0 against Tampa. Ooh, boy. 877, 830 for Manning. That is not going to fly. That is not going to fly for this team. We are there is absolutely no reason that a team with this much talent on paper should be losing that badly. So if we do get a goalie, then Maka is probably on his way out because he's making 6.3 mil for this year, and he's 34 years of age, so he's not getting any better. I would like to hold on to Manning if possible because he is a 2.5-star ability and he's at 4.5-star potential at 22 years of age, but I don't know if he's going to hit that potential, especially with performances like an 830 save percentage, I believe it was from him. Yeah, we definitely have to figure out this roster. We have to figure out what's the best style of play for this team. I'm guessing offensively just because of the defensive core and how many offensive defensemen we have, but I guess we just have too many offensively minded players and not enough defensive minded players because that is the only explanation I have for some of these abysmal defensive grades. And then not to mention, of course, goaltending. So I think with that, I'm going to leave it off here before the regular season starts. The roster, the way it is right now, is not going to work. And I mean, I hate to judge off of preseason alone, but that was a disaster. Like, that was an absolute disaster defensively. And I know we have an offensive head coach, but still, like our players should be good enough defensively to not let up that many goals. So that's why I'm thinking we probably need another goaltender instead of Maka, and then some bona fide defensive defenseman in there as well. And probably even a defensive forward, if I'm being honest. Especially when you compare it with some of the defensive grades of all these other teams. Like, yeah, we have no one like this at all. I mean, look at the grades of some of these guys on the San Jose Sharks. Like, our best grade, I think, is like a 68. Yeah, 68 is our highest defensive grade. That's brutal. And the second highest is from a forward. After that is Psyduck with a 61. Clearly, the simulation does not favor this team makeup, whatever it is. Anyway, it appears we are in for a ride here in Ottawa. It's not going to be easy.